What is hot ice, or preferably known as sodium acetate trihydrate? Some people think it's just ice being heated up or boiled, and it's not. Instant hot ice works through a supersaturated solution of sodium acetate trihydrate and water. Once cooled, the solution becomes unstable and can easily be triggered into a hot mass of ice. The release of the sodium acetate trihydrate molecules from the water triggers an exothermic reaction, which is the heat you will feel. And what I will be using instead of using baking soda and vinegar, I will be using baking soda and formic acid, which is a very strong acid other than vinegar. So my theory is that the ice will form quicker or it will be hotter. Both, probably. Who knows? We'll see how it goes. So now we are going to pour the formic acid into the pot. I didn't really measure it, but I'm going to say probably half a cup, only because there's really no measurement. It just depends how much you want, and I didn't want to make a lot because it's very strong. Now we're going to grab a spoonful of baking soda and pour it into the pot where the acid is at. Now you keep repeating this process, but make sure it stops fizzing before you do the next one and the next one and the next one. And when it finally stops fizzing, that's when you know it's ready to be heated up. You want to make sure it's on medium heat because you don't want to overheat it up, or the liquid will turn brown because you burnt it. When done, you pour it out into the jar you want and you scrape the substance off of the pan. So when put in the fridge after you pour it into the jar, mine already crystallized within like less than 2 minutes, and it was not supposed to do that. But it crystallized, and I have hot ice now. But this is what it was actually supposed to look like during the process of it crystallizing, instead of just crystallizing automatically in the fridge. So in conclusion, my theory was somewhat correct. It did crystallize faster. I just wasn't there to see it because it happened in the refrigerator. Now it technically wasn't supposed to do that because the substance I scraped off from the pot, I was supposed to get that and then get the liquid out from the refrigerator after it had cooled down a little bit, and then when I pour it into the liquid and it would have crystallized. That didn't happen, of course, and maybe the reason why is because I maybe not have added enough acid, or there was just too much baking soda, because technically the liquid is supposed to be clear and not so white. But it's okay. It's still crystallized and just not as pretty, but